There are places we should never approach, voices we should never listen to, and secrets buried in the darkness that we should never uncover. But curiosity always leads us beyond the unknown. Tonight, we embark on a journey into the world of horror where reality and fiction blur and fear becomes more real than you can imagine. Get ready, turn off the lights, because you are about to step into the dark side. It was 9 in the morning at Riverside High School, and the day seemed completely ordinary. Students moved between classes, and teachers reviewed their lessons. But suddenly, the alarm echoed throughout the school, announcing an emergency. The voice over the intercom was clear but disturbed. "Students and staff, this is not a drill. Please proceed immediately to the nearest room and lock the doors. Stay quiet and follow instructions." Breaths were held simultaneously. Everyone realized something dangerous was happening. In the biology class, Mr. McClellan was lecturing about the life cycle of plants when the alarm sounded. He immediately stopped the lesson. Calmly but firmly, he said, "All right, everyone to the back, under the tables. I'll lock the door." The students moved slowly, their eyes filled with fear. "What's going on?" whispered Jessica, a student sitting in the corner, but she received no answer. Mr. McClellan locked the door and turned off the lights, then sat next to the students, trying to reassure them. He said, "Whatever it is, we are safe here. Don't move and don't make any noise." In the hallways, an eerie silence took over. No one moved. Only the occasional sound of distant footsteps could be heard, the source of which was indistinguishable. The students and staff who managed to hear those footsteps felt chills, especially as they didn't seem like they came from just one person. In the archives room in the basement, Emma, the library assistant, was organizing some files. She didn't realize there was an emergency until she noticed the red light flashing from the alarm device in the corner. When she tried to leave, she found the door leading to the stairs tightly locked. She tried to calm herself as she looked for her phone, but the signal was weak. On the other side of the school, in the gymnasium, a group of students were practicing basketball when the alarm went off. Coach Robert instructed them to gather in the equipment room. As they entered the small, dark room, they felt a strange change in the atmosphere. The air felt unusually heavy, as though something unnatural was watching them. The intercom voice returned, this time calmer but filled with tension. "Please do not leave your positions under any circumstances. The doors are locked for your protection." In the classroom, Tommy, the most curious student in the group, couldn't resist his urge to know what was going on. He took out his phone and started searching for any news or information. Suddenly, a notification popped up on the screen. Local police warn of an intruder inside Riverside High School, believed to be armed and dangerous. Tommy whispered, "There's an intruder in the school." Fear spread across the students' faces. Mr. McClellan gestured for him to put the phone away, saying, "Don't make things worse. Stay calm." But the anxiety kept growing. At that moment, everyone heard a faint sound at the door. It was like scratching. Everyone almost stopped breathing. Someone whispered, "Do you think it's the intruder?" Mr. McClellan motioned for them to stay silent. The scratching continued for a few seconds and then stopped. Instead of feeling relieved, the tension increased. "What if they're trying to get in?" Jessica wondered aloud in a barely audible voice. In the archives room, Emma also heard strange noises. There was a sound like something heavy being dragged across the floor. Her heart started racing. She didn't know whether to hide or try to call for help. As the sound got closer, she could see a shadow moving behind the room's door. A tall, bulky shadow holding something in its hand. She froze in place, unable to breathe. In the gym, one of the students, Michael, tried to look through a small gap in the equipment room door. What he saw made him back away quickly, his face pale. He said, "There's someone in the hallway, but they don't look normal. Their eyes." He didn't finish his sentence. At the same moment, the intercom went completely silent. No instructions, no warnings, just heavy silence. The students and teachers began to feel that something more mysterious was happening. Suddenly, a distant scream was heard from one of the upper floors. It was a horrifying scream, filled with pain and fear. Jessica began crying, trying to stifle her sobs. Mr. McClellan tried to comfort her, but he himself seemed barely able to control his fear. The most terrifying moment came when violent knocking was heard at the door. The knocking was persistent, as if someone was trying to break the door down. Everyone huddled in a corner of the room, trying not to make a sound. But the door didn't open. The knocking stopped abruptly, just as it had started. After what felt like hours, the sound of police cars was heard outside the school. The silence in the hallways persisted, but this time it carried a different feeling. Moments later, a voice came over the intercom. "This is the police. The building is secure. You may now exit." Mr. McClellan cautiously opened the door but found no sign of the intruder. In the hallways, the atmosphere was heavy with fear and confusion. Students and teachers slowly emerged from their rooms, trying to make sense of what had happened. The strange thing was that the police found no evidence of an intruder inside the school. No traces, no surveillance footage, nothing. Only that scream, heard by everyone, and the mysterious footsteps. In the following days, everyone talked about what had happened. Some said the school might be haunted, while others claimed it was just a bizarre misunderstanding. But those who were inside knew there was something more mysterious that hadn't been explained. In the nights that followed, many of them had disturbing dreams, hearing the same footsteps and knocking sounds. For them, what had happened wasn't just a frightening experience. It was something that would stay with them forever. Was it just a story? Or is there something real behind this mystery? Perhaps we will never know. But one thing is certain, horror never truly disappears. It lurks in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to emerge again. If you dare, stay with us for more terrifying stories. And don't forget to watch your surroundings, because something might be right behind you,